Speaking of finding things in the ocean.
What?
We've talked about it briefly before, but I looked into it more, saw some videos on it. Remember we talked about dark oxygen? Dark oxygen.
Why is
it so hard for me? It's dark oxygen.
I remember dead air. I remember dark oxygen. I can remember.
I need a refresher for sure.
Okay.
I remember the term.
It's so scientists, they went to the depths of the ocean. I think it was in the Pacific Ocean. And they're down there to where it's just so dark, so compressed, like light cannot penetrate this far down.
Yeah.
And they found these basically rocks that are called polymetallic nodules. And there are ancient rocks that produce electricity.
Wow.
Yeah.
And enough electricity to interact with the salt water to produce oxygen.
Okay. Yeah.
And to them, they're just like, this was discovered in like 2020 or 2022, I think.
Isn't that what they're trying to harvest to create energy?
Yeah. So this is where it gets. So the Y-Files did a great video on it.
Okay.
And then Johnny Harris, he's like an investigative journalist, really awesome videos. But he did a whole video on the mining of these polymetallic nodules. I think he just called them nodules at the end, or polynodules. But basically, they say that they're formed over, they said millions of years, which if you're a young creation, whatever. But like it takes like, I don't know. They said the rate of which they grow is like a centimeter, like every million years or something. Like it just takes forever for these things to grow. And there's clusters of them all over the ocean floor, specifically in the Pacific. Specifically Pacific.
Yeah.
And but what they did when they discovered these things is that they discovered 5,000 new species of marine life.
Oh my gosh.
90% of which they never knew existed.
How is that possible?
That live on these things, on these nodules.
Only on those things.
Yeah, all around
Something's
them.
attracting them.
Yeah.
Or creating them.
And now there's this big fight to start harvesting them.
Yeah.
Because they contain, what do they contain? Manganese?
Yeah.
Nickel, copper, and cobalt. So it's like this amazing, rich, elemental chunk of thing. And they grow up to like size of softballs.
It's that they're growing is weird.
Yeah.
Is it just sediment like adding to it or something like that? What
I guess so.
do rocks grow?
But
these rocks do.
But that's the thing. Like, won't that screw up so much of the sea life and stuff?
Oh yeah. Well, they don't know. But they're already, there's the company that Johnny Harris talked about. It's called the Metals Company. And they've already funded like X amount of billions of dollars to start this industry, this mining company, just for these nodules. But it's off limits right now. But they're saying that it's going to get passed soon. But the way it works out, the UN, they called it something specific, this area of water, to where a private corporation cannot lay claim to it because it's in the ocean.
Yeah.
And so it's split up there's like a big graph of this ocean, and it's split up per country of like you can only harvest in this area. And the Metals Company, I think they're based out of Canada. They got the Tonga, Kiribati, and Nauru, which are tiny little islands in the Pacific, to represent the Metals Company. But they're talking about like the science, they have no idea what these modules do for the ocean
ecosystem.
Life.
I mean, if they're
yeah.
putting off oxygen, then it should be assumed that these 5,000 new species need to be in close proximity to oxygen-rich areas.
And not even just them, the other species that they don't understand, like the relationships between them. Like they don't know because it's so deep, but what's like the next layer that's semi-studied, you know, like all the weird deep sea creatures. Like I'm sure they're dependent on whatever that ecosystem
Dude, let's
is coming
speculate
up.
for a minute.
Also, those 5,000 species sound like they're pretty dependent on those in particular. Like, so what you're removing then is like you're removing those species.
Like they're probably going to die.
Yes.
Like go extinct.
Because if that's the only place where they're thriving, and if you're removing that from them, like,
But they're saying that there's estimated $16 trillion worth of these modules in the ocean.
Yeah.
And that's all these countries are like, all right, when the UN gives the go ahead, we're gonna start mining it.
Oh my gosh, we're
Dude,
so greedy. Do we know nothing? Have we never seen a sci-fi movie in our lives?
For real though, it's like don't mess with that stuff. If Earth is millions of years old, I don't think it is. It could be whatever existed before, whatever.
Before humankind.
Created with history.
Right. Or created with age.
Is that your belief?
Yeah.
It is.
That's kind of my belief too.
I don't
know. If they are this old and they've been there since the creation of Earth, probably shouldn't mess with them.
Yeah.
There's other ways to get this stuff.
No, I mean, that's the thing though. Everyone, like, as soon as one thing pops up, that's possible. It's like, they're not even going to think. They just see money signs at that point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Let's speculate.
Yeah.
This horror show.
Okay.
They take it all.
Sure.
The 5,000 new species die off.
Or live on Earth now.
Like Andrew said. Or they crawl out
now,
of the earth.
maybe the reason why they're down there is because they become too strong when they get full oxygen.
Oh, and they get here and then they grow like the dinosaurs. They speculate they were ginormous because of the oxygen. They've been down here. They've been tiny with these little scraps of oxygen. And then they get up here to this closer to the ozone layer and they're like 5,000
those like
larger.
those growing things you throw in the bathtub?
Exactly.
This is the reverse of that.
Exactly the same.
Get them out of the water, they grow.
Yeah.
Like what Andrew said, the deep sea creatures are munching on those. That's sustaining that cycle of life. Further, further, further. We take these out, all the fish are dead. In the world.
We truthfully don't know the repercussions of just harvesting all this stuff out. The Y-Files, he speculates on what could happen. And he mentioned, like, it seems like every cataclysm that has happened throughout history, like worldwide cataclysm, has a lot to do with the ocean, like, losing its balance. So, like, glaciers melting at a rapid pace, meteor hitting the ocean, heating it up, and then it just vaporizing everything in the area. He's like, it seems like this would be the next cataclysm if we harvest this out. It just throws the whole ecosystem off.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like, that is so scary.
Or all the rocks are sitting on top of a big hole in the earth where all the demons are kept.
Or that.
That's honestly most likely the scenario that's going to happen.
But it does kind of give some validation to, was it non-human intelligent life in the ocean?
How so?
Yeah.
I mean, if there's a natural source of electricity and oxygen that they've just found, and we've explored whatever 1% of the ocean floor, it's like, dude, there's probably some
crazy
other stuff down there producing electricity and oxygen.
100%. Yeah. Like, I mean, there have to be. Like, we just, like, by statistics alone, like, yeah, if we found that, yeah, there has to be more stuff out there.
There's this theory too, because they're in clusters. It's so weird. Like, actually, let me send you a picture of them. They're in clusters throughout the ocean floor, and there's a theory that they have this weird, they almost act as like computers, and they call them, like, it's called the neural network theory with these things. So they actually, I forget how, but the electricity of how it works, it seems like these different clusters communicate with each other.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
that's what I'm saying, man. That stuff is like...
Or they're eggs.
They're eggs.
Oh my gosh. Dude, it's just so scary. Because we just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the video of them, how they plan on collecting them, and it literally looked like something at Top Golf. Like when they're sucking up the golf balls and stuff. Like, it's... And... I don't know. You're disturbing the floor, what they're sitting on, everything. There's so much impact that we don't even realize.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
Ninjas are butterflies. Did I say ninja? I meant butterfly. The butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful